7, Chapter 2, Fractions and Decimals. Introduction. Under fraction, we have decimal fractions and non-decimal fraction. Decimal fraction can be finite decimal numbers or infinite decimal numbers. How well have you learnt about fractions? Fractions are numbers representing part of a whole. A fraction is a number of the form p by q such that q is not equal to 0 or 1. A fraction has two parts. The number on the top is numerator and the number below is the denominator. Here we have p by q, where p is the numerator and q is the denominator. Fractions can be either like, unlike, or equivalent. Like fractions are fractions with same denominator. For example, 1 by 2, 15 by 2, 19 by 2 and so on. Here, the denominator is 2. Unlike fractions are fractions with different denominators. For example, 16 by 5, 7 by 8, 1 by 2, 2 by 5, 2 by 10. We observe here that the denominators are different. Equivalent fractions are fractions which represent the same number. Let us compare the like fractions. In like fractions, the denominators are the same, so only numerators are compared. The one with bigger numerator is the bigger fractions. Let us compare unlike fractions. In unlike fractions, denominators are different. To solve them, firstly, we try and make the denominators same. This is done by converting fractions into equivalent fractions by taking the LCM of different denominators. Each fraction is converted into a form such that the LCM has the common denominator of both the fractions. Comparison of the like fractions obtained can be done by comparing the numerators. Addition of like fractions. Since like fractions have the same denominator, we retain the denominator in the final answer. We add the numerator to get the numerator of the final fraction. For example, half plus half will give whole, that is 1. 1 by 3 plus 1 by 3 will give us 2 by 3. 1 by 4 plus 1 by 4 equals to 2 by 4, which equals to 1 by 2. Addition of unlike fractions. These fractions have different denominators. To solve them, firstly, the fractions are converted into equivalent fractions with a common denominator. The LCM of denominators is calculated. The fractions are converted into like fractions with a common denominator. The common denominator is retained. The numerators are added. Adding fractions with unlike denominators. For example, 3 by 5 plus 3 by 2. First, we find the common denominator, so we multiply 2 by 2 with 3 by 5 and 5 by 5 with 3 by 2. Hence, we get the answer as 6 by 10 plus 15 by 10, which equals to 21 by 10. Subtraction of like fractions. Since like fractions have common denominator, we retain the denominator in the denominator. The numerators are subtracted to get the numerator of the final fraction. For example, 3 by 7 minus 2 by 7 will give 1 by 7. 5 by 6 minus 3 by 6 will give us 2 by 6. 4 by 5 minus 1 by 5 will give us 3 by 5. Subtraction of unlike fractions. These fractions have different denominators, so we solve them firstly. The fractions are converted into equivalent fractions with a common denominator. The LCM of denominators is calculated. The fractions are converted into like fractions with a common denominator. The common denominator is retained, then the numerators are subtracted. Subtracting unlike fractions. Example 12 by 16 minus 1 by 4. Here we observe that the denominators are different, that is 16 and 4. So we create an equivalent fraction by multiplying 4 with the second fraction. That is equals to 12 by 16 minus 4 by 16, where we see that the denominators are the same, which equals to 8 by 16. By further simplification, we get 1 by 4 as the answer. Some more examples. First, 1 minus 1 by 2 will give us as 1 by 2. 1 minus 1 by 3 will give us as 2 by 3. 1 minus 1 by 4 will give us as 3 by 4. Multiplication of fractions. Multiplication of a fraction by a whole number. If a whole number or real number is multiplied with fraction, then it is equal to the real number times the fraction is added. For example, multiply 5 into half. 5 into half means 5 times of half. Means we add half for 5 times. We get the answer as half plus half plus half plus half plus half, which equals to 1 plus 1 plus 1 plus 1 plus 1 by 2, since our denominators are same, and that gives us the final answer as 5 by 2. Multiplication of a fraction by a fraction. Multiplying two fractions, we get a fraction number. This is a proper fraction. Example, multiply 4 by 5 into 7 by 8. 4 by 5 into 7 by 8 equals to 4 into 7 divided by 5 into 8, which gives us the answer as 28 by 40. We can further simplify it as 28 by 40 equals to 7 by 10. Second example, multiply 1 by 4 into 2 by 5 into 1 by 8. Multiplying the given fraction 1 by 4 into 2 by 5 into 1 by 8, we get 1 into 2 into 1 divided by 4 into 5 into 8, which equals to 2 by 160. By further simplification, we get the answer as 1 by 80. Division of fractions. Division of whole number by a fraction. To divide a whole number by any fraction, multiply that whole number by the reciprocal of that fraction. While dividing a whole number by a mixed fraction, first convert the mixed fraction into improper fraction and then solve it. Example, 12 divided by 3 by 4. To divide a whole number by any fraction, multiply that whole number by the reciprocal of that fraction. The reciprocal of 3 by 4 is 4 by 3. So we get 12 into 4 by 3 is equals to 48 by 3, and by further simplification we get the answer as 16. Division of a fraction by a whole number. A fraction being divided by a number is equivalent to the fraction being multiplied by the reciprocal of the number. While dividing mixed fractions by whole numbers, convert the mixed fractions into improper fractions. Example, find 7 by 3 divided by 2. We multiply the fraction with the reciprocal of the whole number. The reciprocal of 2 is 1 by 2, which equals to 7 by 3 into 1 by 2, which gives us the answer as 7 by 6. Division of a fraction by another fraction. In order to divide, we can multiply the reciprocal of the divisor to the dividend. Example, 4 by 9 divided by 2 by 3. 4 by 9 is the dividend and 2 by 3 is the divisor. The reciprocal of 2 by 3 is 3 by 2, which equals to 4 by 9 into 3 by 2, which gives us the answer as 12 by 18, and by further simplification, that is dividing by the common factor 6, we get the answer as 2 by 3. Thank you and have a fun-filled learning.